So this is the question that Kamala Harris cannot answer. And the problem is it's a very important question because it's about the economy and about something that she said that she's going to bring down prices. And she was asked, how exactly are you going to do it? And well, you need to listen to her answer.
Talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people. Yeah. What are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
That was important. Specific things. I want you to be succinct, to get to the point. This was her answer.
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard.
Okay, as you can imagine, she begins to, well, have this introduction. She doesn't jump into the point. She is not very specific at first. But the first thing that we can notice is that she, shrugs it off, closes her eyes a bit longer than a regular blink, and she's got this demeanor as in, well, I'm going to talk about myself for a minute. Like she's going to take her time. You think that she's going to take her time to come up with the answer, but no, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm going to review this part anyway.
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. Okay,
there was one lip pressure right there. She's pressing her lips. That lip pressure is about attention, frustration. It doesn't have a direct intrinsic meaning, but she's, let's say that is an emotional reaction. Maybe she wants to take a bit of time with her answer. And also she's got this.
She worked very hard.
And she is denying with her head. That doesn't mean necessarily that she is lying or something like that. You know that we can do this when we are emphasizing, and she's saying the words. That she's saying the word that her mother worked very hard, so she could be emphasizing that hard work. That's one thing. I will cut her some slack in there. But, well, moving on. It's not really specific at all.
She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our first house when I was a teenager.
You see that she has these expressions. She still hasn't answered the question, but she makes sure to raise her eyebrows, to open her eyes wide. She's trying to nod herself, looking for that, feedback from the interviewer, as in, I'm answering the question, right? I'm in the process of answering the question, the most important question that everybody wants to know of all her policies. This is the one. This is my moment to shine. And well,
I grew up in a community of hardworking people, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And
a couple of things here. You notice that she pressed her lips again. And when did she press her lips? You know that in body language we need to pay attention to not only to what happens, but when. She says, I grew up in a community of hardworking people. That's this lip pressing. And then she begins to talk about construction workers and nurses and teachers. That's what you do to be relatable. You want to be relatable with the American public. It would be nice if you answer the question, but first she has to talk about her family, her hardworking mother, the nurses, the teachers, that make it seem like she was surrounded by all these regular people. It's a bit odd, right? Why she keeps saying that over and over again. It's so important for her and not answer the question.
And teachers, and I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, but a lot of people will relate to this.
No, that she even uses the word. A lot of people will relate to this, and she's got that split second gesture with her mouth. She's got her face more or less relaxed. Maybe she's frowning a bit. Maybe she's trying to come up with the actual answer to the question, but no, she is having a hard time, and that's when she does this, which is a gesture with her mouth. It is not a contempt smile at all. I think it was more like she was stressed because she knew that she was not answering whatever she had been asked. And at the same time, you see that the tension in her face with the frowning and the mouth is like, okay, and looking away. That's important as well. That she's trying to, well, add a bit much of a filler in there, and more filler. Speaking of filler, you haven't seen anything yet. Okay, I have to put the volume again.
You know, I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn. You know?
She's using that nodding, that constant nodding to have some kind of feedback from the interviewer. Sad that we don't have that interviewer angle to see if he's actually nodding or having some kind of feedback. And that's why she does this. You know, like waiting for that feedback. And we would like to know if she worked so hard to practice all those answers in the debate, because she had the questions beforehand. And she was very articulate and very measured in the debate. That was nice. Why can't she answer the most logical questions to her own policies? That would be the thing to do. That's something that you must absolutely do, especially if you know that you're going to be asked that, because you know that that's what people want to know. We want to know exactly how you are going to do it. Not everyone who's going to vote for Kamala Harris is blind and I'm going to vote for her no matter what she says. No, some people want to actually know what is her plan, and well, she's not doing well right now at all.
And I was raised to believe and to know that all people deserve dignity.
You see that she said that all people deserve dignity, but at the same time she made herself like smaller, like she was afraid of something. Like she raised her shoulder and almost hid her face inside that space. She said she did this.
Deserve dignity.
See that?
And that we as Americans have a beautiful character.
All right. She says that we as Americans have a beautiful character. Notice that she began very focused on something, like her family, then her neighborhood, then we are what, like 40 seconds in, and now she's talking about the American public, and she hasn't addressed the question yet. And I would like to know, there's a genuine question I have in terms of body language, because you know that many gestures can be very quirky or very specific or strange, but this one, I would like to know, what do you think about this particular gesture with her hand, that as she was doing that? What is this? What is she doing? What is she doing when she does that? What is the meaning behind that? Is some kind of a reflex, something that she does, where in other times it is part of her body language baseline? I know that you're gonna say, "Oh, you are so mean to her." No, I'm just trying to have fun, because I'm trying to add levity to the fact that she hasn't answered the question yet.
So we have ambitions and aspirations and dreams, but not everyone necessarily has access to the resources that can help them fuel those dreams and ambitions.
Okay, it would be nice that more Americans have access to the resources that can help them achieve those dreams and ambitions. I understand that. It would be great. But which one are those resources exactly? How are you going to give them not only to Americans, but all the immigrants that you want to, give them amnesty or normalize or whatever it's called? And you see that by this point, we are near the end of the non-answer. I quit. I know that there's not going to be an answer by this point. And her blinking begins to be faster.
So
have a bit of fluttering in there. Again, go a bit of zoom, and there it is. There's a bit of fluttering. and again looking away because she doesn't have the answer and she's not gonna give the answer. But by this point, we're already here. We can as well watch the last 10 to 15 seconds of this non-answer.
When I talk about building an opportunity economy.
Oh, she had to say that, opportunity economy. We still don't know what an opportunity economy is. I guess that it has to do with seizing the opportunities. It is my guess, it's in the name. You have to seize the opportunity when they appear. Well, that's great. That's basically everyone's life. We all have to seize opportunities.
It is very much with the mind of investing in the ambitions and aspirations and the incredible work ethic of the American people, and creating opportunity for people, for example, to start a small business.
Okay, maybe she's talking about that 50,000, I don't know if this tax break or grant that she's going to give people who are going to start small businesses. My question is, where is that money coming from? How are you going to create accountability for that? I don't have personal experience, but in Venezuela in the 70s, we had so much money that money was given to anybody without any accountability, and that did not end well. What do I mean by accountability? That the government gives you money, but you have to prove that you did well with the money. I think that just giving the money away is not a good idea. It's gonna be it's much better if you actually teach and help people understand what does creating a small business mean, because it's not easy, and have a study of which are the most profitable or most successful small businesses, depending of course on your skills. It's not that anybody who applies, it should be screened, but that screen has to do with, they will say that you're discriminating. No, this has to be for everybody. But again, she did not answer the question. I would like to hear the answer to that question, but today is not my lucky day. But I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. Remember to download my 100 body language tips in the description of this video. Much love and bliss.